And now!
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Mr. K. Right, okay, second episode. Today, something a little bit different, but just like last week, I've got a special guest, and I'd like to introduce my special guest, and here she is. A big round of applause for Mrs. Gordon.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Right, okay then, so, like last week then, shall we get our little hamper box out, have a look what we've got. Milk, always useful. Do you want to pass me a minute? Oh, what we got? Oh, 5 bean salad. Talk about that next week. And butter. Right, okay, brilliant. Right, okay then, miss. What do you reckon?
I don't know.
Well, I think we've got to use the pasta, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll use the pasta.
A few carbs in the cold weather.
Absolutely. Oh, we've got some tuna.
Yeah.
I think. What about cheesy tuna pasta bake?
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Mr. K, for inspiring me to cook.
Mr. K, where's the inspiration for this dish?
Well, do you know what? When my children were a little bit younger, I really struggled to get their 5 a day.
Yeah.
Okay, but what they really did like was tuna pasta bake. So what I used to do is I used to be really sneaky, and in my tomato sauce I used to put lots and lots of veg. So, and even now they still love it. So we would make this about twice a week. But looking at what we've got in here, I think this is going to be a cracking little menu item for us to do this week.
And your children never thought there was something fishy going on?
Right, okay then, so what you've noticed here then, miss, is I've got a pan of water on there boiling already. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop my, pasta in there. Okay, but before I do that, what I am going to do is I'm going to salt it. Now, any idea why I put the salt in?
Got no idea.
Well, it's funny you should say that, and then so I'll tell you, right? The thing about that is you put your salt in there, okay, that salt then transfers into the food that you're cooking. And also, did you know that if you put salt in water, okay, it increases the boiling temperature, okay, and when it increases the boiling temperature, it cooks the, whatever product you're putting in there a little bit faster.
Wow.
So, bit of interesting
Not just
information.
cooking with Mr. K, science with Mr.
Well.
K.
This is silly. Get back to cooking.
And what type of pasta have you got today?
This one is just penne this week.
Penne.
And it's funny you should say that, Science with Mr. K, because I was thinking about another series of doing that actually. Because I think science of food is a very interesting thing.
No. Cooking.
So, right, okay then, so I'm going to pop that on there, just bring it back up to the boil. Okay, so while I'm doing that, then what I do need to do now, I need to make our tomato sauce. So, what I thought I'd do, if I do the garlic, how are you fixed with dicing an onion?
Oh, I've done it once or twice. I'll give it
Really,
a go.
Bob? Okay, so, and what you can do, I will even let you use my big chopper.
Now, somebody told me once that when you're cutting an onion, if it makes your eyes water, if you stuck a spoon at the same time,
Rubbish.
the metal stops your eyes from
Nah,
watering.
rubbish.
Is that not true?
Not true at all. Don't know who told you that.
So why do onions make your eyes hurt?
Well, it's because of the acid that's in the cells of the onion. And what happens is once you cut it open, it releases that acid, and okay, it mixes with the oxygen in the air. Okay, and that's why you cry.
Right, that's it. I won't tell you again. Stop this silly nonsense. Get back to cooking. No science.
One good trick as well when you're doing garlic is I like to add a little bit of salt.
Right.
All right.
And why do you add salt?
Okay, and the reason I do that is to add a little bit of a grit to the situation. And then what I do with my knife, and it has to be a fairly good knife, You don't want anything that's too flexible. And then what I do, look, is I just push the garlic down with my back of my knife, and what I'm wanting to do here is just turn it into a little bit of a puree. And the reason I'm doing that is because there's nothing worse than, you know, biting into a dish and finding, you know, great big, you know, bits of garlic. Okay, so if we do it it you know, diffuses quite well into the dish that you're making.
What a great tip. So could you use anything other than olive oil? There's butter in the hamper this week, I see.
Yeah, there is, and you can use butter if you want to. I mean, I do like the taste of butter, but you know, to be honest, sometimes I think what tends to happen is if you're not careful with the heat, it burns, doesn't it, because of the you know, butter solids.
But isn't burnt butter used in some famous sauces?
It is, but I think, to be perfectly honest, it's a bit of an acquired taste.
Burnt butter and tuna, not a great combo.
No,
Mr.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Right, okay, so we're cracking on with that then. Right, okay, so I'm just going to give that a few minutes to come up to the boil then. So thank you very much for these. Okay. So I shall put these in here. What I'm going to do, just like I did last week, look, I'm going to put my onions in. I'm not going to use all of them.
Are you going to be sweating them?
I am going to be sweating them. And what I'm going to do this at a fairly low heat as well. Because obviously what I want these to do, I want them to cook, but I want them to still stay soft. All right, so I don't want too much colour on these, so I'm just going to give that a few minutes. And then what I'm going to do is, once they've had a few minutes, I'm then going to add my garlic, and then I'm going to show you a really cool trick on how you can sweat off your onions, sweat off your garlic over a relatively high heat, and it won't burn. As I was saying earlier on, miss, you know, my children, you know, they love sweet corn, you know, in their pasta bake. So luckily we've got a tin in our hamper, so we can use that today.
Gives it a good bite as well, doesn't it? A bit of texture.
Nice colour.
Colour, easy on the eye.
Absolutely.
Just like you are, Mr. K.
Oh, do you know, I think I'm going to have you on as a guest again. I like you. You're much better than Mr. Cook last week.
How many likes are we up to on social media now?
400.
So remember, if you like the show today, thumbs up and subscribe.
Brilliant. Right, okay, so in our pan then, we've got our onions, we've got our garlic. Okay, top tip.
Top tip.
Right, okay.
Drum roll, please.
I'm going to add a little bit of water. Okay, and the reason I'm adding the water is, all right, it allows me to cook over a fairly high heat. All right, okay, but what doesn't happen is, what was I saying earlier on about the garlic?
Don't burn the garlic.
Doesn't burn, okay, so a little bit and develop that flavour.
So it's almost like you're producing a garlic stock.
I suppose it probably is,
which could be the base to a number of sauces.
It could. And the good thing about this sauce is, because I've crushed my garlic, okay, no big garlicky bits.
Yeah.
Okay then, so we've just about evaporated our water in there. What I'm going to do now then, I'm going to add my chopped tomatoes, pop those in there.
And is that just a tin of tomatoes? It's not ones that you've roasted?
No, just normal common garden
like what's
tin
in the
tomato.
hamper?
Exactly, the ones in the hamper. So, in we go with our salt.
Susie salt,
in we go with our pepper. There's nothing worse than having a dish that's not been properly seasoned. So actually, you've got to make sure you put your salt and your pepper in there. Lovely. And then what I'm going to do, look, just going to give that a
good mix.
Quick little mix. Okay, I've just taken the lid off here. Like I say, be really, really careful. Absolutely very, very sharp. I've drained this as well, remember, because it always comes in you know, some kind of you know, brine or something like that. Okay, all I'm going to do now then, literally just going to mix this together. Yep. Okay, at this point now, look, I'm just going to add a few bits of sweet corn. Now, if you've got peas, you can add peas. It's entirely up to you. Just whatever you've got to hand, whatever your children like, just pop that in. All right. Okay. Now look, I've got my sauce here. Look, so I'm going to put that over the top.
Wow, I mean that just looks so colourful, doesn't it?
It does, and
could just dive right in there.
Yeah,
right
the good
now.
thing about this is it's just so easy as well.
And is it good for leftovers?
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely. To have it that way.
Now, also in the hamper this week, there's a loaf of bread. I guess what you could do to add a bit more texture and crunch, you could make some breadcrumbs.
Oh, yeah.
You've got any of the leftover bread.
Yeah, absolutely you could. Yeah, that's probably a good tip actually. And then what you would do with that is you put your breadcrumbs on top and then your cheese on top of that. And that technique's called gratinating.
Oh.
Okay, so there we go, look. On there with our cheese, all seasoned. We've got our tuna in there, we've got our sweet corn in there. And then what we're going to do, look, pop it in the oven. Right, probably going to take about 10 minutes, because remember it's already hot. Okay, but what are we looking for?
Ooh, until the cheese starts to go?
Until the cheese starts to go.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait. The cheese has started to go!
Okay, there we go, mate.
Well, the cheese has really gone,
Oh,
hasn't
how
it?
fabulous is that?
It's dead crispy, just
And
how I like it.
I know, only took, what,
Yeah.
about 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Can't
fabulous.
beat a bit of crunch.
You can't. Right, do you want to grab yourself
Ooh,
a fork there?
I do.
Do you want to, should we dive in?
Yeah, let's.
Be my guest.
Oh, this looks delicious. Now, you have to be careful with hot cheese.
Obviously, it's very hot. Oh, it's lovely. I really like that. So easy to make as well.
Oh, that is absolutely delicious.
Brilliant.
Look, it's been an absolute pleasure.
And
Thank you for having me on this
My
week.
pleasure. Thank you for coming on and being my
I
guest.
can't wait to see what happens next week.
Right, okay, that's it for this week then, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, just like last week, any inspiration for your chef's hat, send it along to the email address, which will be on the screen. And please, please, please send me any photographs of dishes that you made. There will be a prize. Cheers, guys. See you next week.
Why not have a go at making a meal yourself using these same ingredients? Email any photographs in for Meal of the Week next week. Or why not design a brand new chef hat for Mr. K to be made by Mrs. Owen? Email in your designs to funkychefhat@ellisguildfordschool.org.uk.